All I want you to do is just sing, okay? Hey, y'all. This is Charlton. I'm here. I want to help you today because I know some people like to sing, but they're, for some reason, scared to sing, especially in church. But church is probably the last place they're going to judge you for singing. So I have 10 questions and answers for people who are afraid to sing, especially in church. Here we go. Why am I so afraid to sing in front of others? To be quite honest, I understand when you're scared that people are going to judge you. However, that's really nothing that you should keep in your bank of things to be scared of. Why do I say that? Because when you get on stage, what you have to bring is a level of confidence. And even if you're not confident, you need to fake it till you make it, right? Just get up there and just do it. I know that's easier said than done, but if you do it often enough, with practice and time, you get over that particular, I'll call it fear. God has not given us the spirit of fear, so I want you to go and move past that. All right. And another thing, singing, whether it's in church or out of church, it's all about expression, right? So as long as you are expressing what's in here, then you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You don't even have to have the best voice, but see, I'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to move on. So what if I hit the wrong notes? Everybody hits the wrong notes every now and again. Some of your best and favorite singers hit the wrong notes all the time. Let me tell you something about wrong notes. It's okay. Just go on to the next line and hit the right notes on the next line. We are some forgiving people, especially in church. We will forgive. I'm forgiven because I understand. I've been there. I try my best to hit every note that I'm supposed to hit, but it's not always the case, so it's okay. Albums and singles and songs that you stream, most of those are actually tuned up in the studio. So even if you hit a bad note, they can correct it. I know most of you probably heard of auto-tune and another one called Melodyne. All these things are things they use. And another thing, let me say this while I'm saying something about albums. Typically, even if it's a live album, they've gone back to the studio and re-recorded parts because you probably did hit the wrong note. So don't look for perfection every time you sing. Just sing with the right expression, all right? What comes from the heart reaches the heart. I know this to be true. So how can I get rid of stage fright? Okay. Interesting one, okay? This is coming from my experience. I've been directing choirs and singing now over 20 years. I've been minister of music for a long time as part of that time. Stage fright. It comes with this thing we call practice. Sing in front of a mirror, and then you can graduate to singing in front of small groups like your friends or your family if you're not too afraid, because you're going to have to get over that, because if you want to sing in front of people, you may as well sing in front of your friends and all that, especially folks who love you, because they're going to be honest with you, okay? So it's okay, but I would suggest you sing in front of a small audience like a group of friends or something. Practice will help you to get better at overcoming that fright, because it can lock you up sometimes. You stand there and you lock up. I've been there, but another thing I do also when I'm in those situations where I'm a little nervous, find a focal point in the room you're in. Focus on that. I used to look at the clock at the back of the church. I would just be dead set on the clock if I had my eyes open, and that helped me with my stage fright. Another thing I used to do, and I do not suggest this at all, I used to stand there. I used to sing everything with my eyes closed shut. I don't suggest that. So if you find yourself doing that, open your eyes, look at the people, or don't look at something in the room. It looks like you're looking at the people. It's going to be all right. Try it out. Do I need a good voice to sing in church? The Bible says make a joyful noise, right? That's what it says. Look, God and the congregation, I promise you, they are looking for sincerity, okay? We know in church that everybody who leads a song is not the greatest vocalist, right? You got folks who've been singing, or what they call singing, for the past 50, 60 years. Some of these voices, not quite what it used to be. Oh, Lord. But does that mean that they can't sing a song? Nope. Because the sincerity is what's going to come through. So keep that in mind when you're worried about what a good voice is. And I'm going to tell you something. A good voice is really subjective to the listeners, because you can have somebody who was as excellent as, let's go with Aretha Franklin, just because she's so widely known. You could have this set of people over here who say, yes, sir, Aretha. And then you have this set of people over here say, I don't really like her. So don't worry about that. So don't worry about how good your voice is. Just know that if you want to sing, go on and sing. It's all right. How do I improve my voice if I'm not naturally talented? Well, let me put it like this. Anybody can improve if you practice, right? Some people might need a little coaching from a professional. I would like to suggest a possibility because we live in a new age. You know, everything you need, you can just about find online. So I would suggest starting with maybe some instructional videos, maybe on the YouTube or wherever else you watch your videos, because usually those are free. But if you do need to graduate to some paid services, you know, you're well within your right to do so. But I say just practice at it and practice what the skills are and watch how you improve. That's what I'll say to you on that. That's a good question. What should I do if my voice shakes while I sing? There's this thing called vibrato, which is a normal thing. Let me demonstrate what vibrato is. You ever hear the singers and this is how they sound? Oh, how I love Jesus. That right there, vibrato. It can be controlled. Some people have that naturally. Some people have a lot of it. Some people have the fast vibrato, the slow vibrato. But when you talk about nervousness, vibrato, that's different. You just need to calm down. You need to breathe. Relax. Inhale, exhale. Think about what you're singing, why you're singing, who you're singing to, right? Think about all that. Do whatever you need to do to calm thyself. Focus on the message of the song. And in those moments when you find yourself having those anxious moments, you know, and you're starting to sing like this, just kind of calm. Just close. This is a time where I say close your eyes and recenter yourself. How can I sing louder without straining? Proper breath support is how you do that, okay? You have to sing from your diaphragm, all right? Not your throat. If you sing too hard from your throat, trying to sing louder, you are going to damage all this in here. Let's not do that, people. You open your mouth and you need to project, and that's how you sing louder. It needs to come from all down in here. I'm not trying to give you a lesson, but, you know, breathe. Let it come from down here. Not from right here, because that's going to go out. That's how you do it. What if people criticize my singing? I can't tell you what I would normally say. But forget them folks. On a serious note, constructive feedback is one thing. If there's somebody who really you respect, who sings, and they give you constructive feedback, not them bashing you, telling you don't sound good, or you should have done this, you should have done that. That's not constructive feedback. That's criticism. You don't have to take that mess from anybody. But constructive feedback from those who you respect, who, do music. Just take that for what it is, right? And if you're in church singing for God, just understand that that's what you're there for. If you're singing elsewhere and somebody you respect is giving you the constructive feedback, just take it for what it is. Improve upon it for the next time that you perform or whatnot, and go from there. It's okay. Criticisms will come. They're going to talk about you. Don't you know they talked about Jesus? No, we always say that they talked about Jesus. Well, they did. So they're going to talk about you too. I don't care how good you are. Somebody's going to have something to say. So just... How can I build confidence in my singing? I got a trick for you. Record yourself singing. Get your phone out and record yourself singing, right? Listen to it, sing along with some of your favorite songs. Record yourself singing and start listening to your own voice, right? Most folks, when you hear your own voice singing, the first thing you go is, ooh, I don't like that. I hate how I sound. I used to be one of those folks because I was not accustomed to how I sounded when I hear it played back. You do know that you sound different to people listening to you on the outside going into their ears versus how you sound from the inside going out, right? So singing is going to be the same. You may think from what you hear in your head of you singing sounds this way, but it actually sounds this way to everybody else. And it's not always bad. It's not always bad. But just get yourself accustomed to it by recording yourself and listening to it back and improving upon the things that you want to improve upon to make your singing be A1. A1. That's a good one. I do that. I still do it, even in my bigger age. What's the best way to start singing in church? Join the choir. Okay? Join the choir. Join the choir. The choir is usually open to any and everybody. So if you are new to singing, I would say start there, right? Praise team can be a little bit more intricate. I don't think praise team should be for beginners. I think praise team should be for folks who have a more advanced, singability. You may disagree, but that's fine. You can disagree, but that's just what I think. Because you're going to have a microphone and anything you do and say is going to be projected probably 10 times more than if you blend it in with a choir. But we're talking about folks who are beginners right now, beginning to sing. Join the choir. I don't know what you may call your groups at your church, but choir, I would say start there. And if it becomes something that you take serious and you hone your craft, go ahead. Try out for whatever organization of singing you want to try out for. But just keep in mind that it is something that you have to dedicate yourself to for real. You got to be dedicated to it. Please don't join the choir singing I want to sing, and then you only show up to rehearsal once every 2 months. That's not much dedication, right? So take it serious and be there every time you can be there and focus on improving. Don't worry about the people around you, because most of them they're just there to say I'm in the choir. They don't really care. It is what it is, We grown, we understand. I hope I've said something that helps you in your singing journey. I know these sound like basic pieces of information, and they are, but some people need this to start off with. So if you need me to go into more detail about something I may have said here in this video, drop me a comment and I will be glad to do so. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. I hope that those of you who are on your singing journeys do it and really enjoy yourselves. Until then, be blessed. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you shall choose to, and I will see you in a little bit on the next video, and you be blessed, as I said before. Thank you so much. I'll see you.